Alright, so this is a video making for Jace, and it's to show a change that I've done for the leg. So when I came over last, there were two different leg setups that I had, two entirely different leg hierarchies actually, a pull vector leg and a no flip IK leg. So with the pull vector leg, you have your standard little controller here. You move it around, the knee points towards it. And the problem inherent in this type of rig is that when you grab the foot controller and you move it, the leg will flip as it passes, that knee control. I'm not an animator, so I don't know how annoying that is, but that's a problem that is inherent with this type of setup. The no IK flip leg addressed that, in that you can move the foot controller around and it wouldn't flip the way this does, but it was two different setups. And so what I've done now is I've reworked it so that the pull vector has that capability. I'm actually going to set the settings on the knee controls for easy access, but during my testing I just dumped it under CT settings, so I'll show what those do. Alright, so this is going to be weird. So let's see, so state, knee, L, off. Okay, so once it's set to off, and maybe I'll give it a different name, but when it's set to off, it'll act just like any regular pull vector will do. If I set it to, geez, I can't find anything. Orient none, it will follow the foot control, but there won't be any orientation like that. Right, so you can see you can move it around, and this I'd imagine would be kind of good for walk cycles. And then of course you can grab the control and animate on top of that. Right? Something like that. Now this has orient none, so let me talk about what that is. So right now I'm just translating the foot control. And if I rotate the control, it doesn't have any impact on, this. And that's basically how that works. Okay, so if I change it from orient none to orient yaw, and I think this is a nautical term, yaw. Probably pronouncing it wrong too. What that means is that it'll work like the previous option did, right, where it'll translate around. These rotations here don't do anything. That one apparently does something. But this one here is the one I care about. Like this one will, spin this knee controller around. Like that. And the reason you do that is because normally, like wherever you point your foot, the knee sort of points in the direction of the foot. Like that, see? So it's a little bit more natural. So that's an option. Oh, and by the way, I don't want to get too technical or anything, but like the reason why this was not having an impact here. Okay, there we go. Right, so if I have rotations in the Y channel, you'll notice that this will sort of angle it anyway. That just has to do with the fact that I set this up at an awkward angle, and that's what's causing those rotations. I could remove that stuff if that's bothersome at all, so that it doesn't do that. But this is really what the yaw thing does. Okay, and let's see, go to settings, and orient all will translate it just like before, and all rotations have an impact now. Like that, just like that. The other thing is, because of the fact that I'm combining with this pole vector, that now means that this knee control needs to be translated farther away from the foot where it is now. I put this here because I thought it was like a nice location, you know, like right above the foot. But the problem with that is if I move it back, you notice that I don't have to move it very far back before you start getting some flipping issues there, right? So to resolve that, I basically, when I run the code that will set up this whole rig, this needs to be, farther out like this. And then when I move it back, you're not going to get those flipping issues unless you get to like an extreme angle. So it's a simple fix. It's just something I need to do. Is there anything else to talk about? That's really it for the knee control. So it's so like you're always looking at the pole vector. You don't have to switch between the non-flip IK leg and the pole vector leg. It's sort of all integrated into one little thing. So let me know if you like this or not. If you don't, then I'll just remove this code, and then it will act exactly like this. So I can remove this setting, and then it will work just like this. Where you have like your standard pole vector. If you prefer that, then super easy to do. What else is there to say? This is a little separate from the knee control, but I also was able to get the matching to work a little bit better. So if I grab the IK leg and I put it in some extreme angle like this, let's say where the leg is literally just like pulling back like that. What I can do, if I have let's just run this code again. I haven't fixed the UI yet, so I'll do that later. But yeah, what I can do is I can click on Match FK, and then even in this extreme angle, it'll work just fine. The FK will match up. What was happening the rig that I gave you, if you try this type of setup, you'll probably notice that the upper leg will flip around in some weird way. So I had to change the rotation order to make that work properly, and now it's all hunky-dory. I don't think there's anything else. It's mostly the knee that I wanted to show you. So let me know if you like the knee control. If you do, then I will keep it in there. And then with those settings, I will, where are they? State mode, I'm gonna organize this stuff. So this off, orient none, your all, I will dump that into the CT L control so that you'll have easy access for it there. Okay, hope that is of use.